What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to do a video that was viewer suggested. Thank you to this viewer. And I'm going to show you about the 3 different kinds of neutrals that are available on the Am Maverick R. You've got regular neutral, and you've got permanent neutral, and you've got mechanical neutral. So let's go through those right now. Car's in the garage, been getting ready for another glamorous trip coming up. Okay, first we're going to go over the first 2 types of neutrals. You got regular neutral and permanent neutral. You have to do this with the key in the ignition, and you can do it with the car running or not running. But if it's not running, you do have to wake up the car. So we're just going to wake it up. Quick press on the start button, and you see that we are in park. And the indicator down here is in park. So I'm going to put my foot on the brake, and I'll go back here, and I'm going to put it neutral. And we're in neutral. Indicator here says neutral. Indicator on this dash says neutral. Okay, so this is our regular neutral. If we want to go back to park, I'm just going to simply put the foot on the brake, go back to park. Or right, I want to show you something. If you go to neutral, and this regular neutral, and you pull the key, watch what's going to happen to the indicator here. It goes back to park. So the regular neutral, key has to be in the ignition all the time. Basically, the car has to be live, either running or the system on and not running, to keep it in neutral. As soon as you pull the key, it's going to go back in park. Okay, now I'm going to show you the second type of neutral, which is what they call the permanent neutral. Again, key's got to be in ignition. Car either has to be running or just wake it up. And you can see that we're in park. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the foot on the brake, and I'm going to hold this neutral button down for quite a long time. I'm going to switch you back to the dash so you can see what happens. So I'm holding the button down. It went to neutral. I'm continuing to hold the button down. I want you to watch the message on the dash. Permanent. Once that permanent comes up, I can let go of the neutral button, and it tells you that permanent neutral is enabled. Now, when I pull the key this time, you're going to see it's going to stay in neutral, but you're also going to hear a warning noise. Recognize that noise? That's the noise you hear when the car is running and your driver's door is ajar. Doesn't matter if the door is shut or not, that noise happens. But now you can roll the car around. That noise will stop in a few seconds, so it's not all the time. And the car will eventually shut down. Noise went away. Car's shutting down. We're down all the way. And I'll show you that we are still in neutral. Okay? So that's a permanent neutral that you do yourself. And that's so you can move the car around your garage when you're just doing some different things, whatnot. But there is something kind of different about putting it back, taking it out of permanent neutral. Again, key ignition. Let's wake it up. Tells you on the dash, neutral, permanent neutral enabled. So I'm going to go back here, and you can see the neutral button's lit up. I'm going to hold down this neutral button again, like I did last time, to take it out of that permanent neutral. Holding it down. Okay, see it went to the park is blinking. Now it says confirm stand still by pressing override button. So the park is blinking. It won't go into park until you confirm that you're sitting still. You hit the override button. Believe me, I will hit that button. I just want to show you the dash. Hit the override button. Now it's in regular park. Get back to where you started. Okay, so that's the first 2 types of neutrals. You got your regular neutral and your permanent neutral. There is a third type of neutral, and I'm going to show you what that's all about. Okay, the third neutral is the mechanical neutral. And here's the situation that you would need the mechanical neutral. You come up to your car, you're out in the dunes, whatever it is, you left your key on, and the car is dead. It won't fire up. Or you don't have your key at all. Well, remember, this thing got put in park. It ain't going anywhere. It's electronic shifting, so you can't just like yank the shifter, move the cable, and put this thing in neutral so you can push it around. So that's where the mechanical neutral comes in. So what we got to do, and forgive me, this would kind of be a tight spot here. We'll go through this here. You got to go to the transmission. We're over on the driver's side. And we're going to go in and we're going to disconnect this harness here. And we're going to remove this actuator. And we're going to put this lever in there and we're going to crank it to mechanically put it into neutral. So let me get things set up here so I can show you how that's going to go. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is disconnect the harness. Now, the harness is kind of like if you've ever unplugged your ECU, you have those two large harnesses to unplug your ECU, and you got to kind of flip the deal over. You just flip it, you can see where it slides here, and it unlocks it, and then we can pull it out. This is going to take two hands, so sorry for not getting this part on camera. So I did get this pushed down, and as you push that down, it already starts pushing that harness out, and then you can just unplug it. Once the harness is unplugged, we have to remove two screws to actually remove the actuator. So for actually, excuse me, so for actually removing the actuator, we're going to move from the driver's side over to the passenger side. There is a small harness hold down right here that's a Torx. It's a 25 Torx. Need to take that off to give you some more room so you're not fighting that harness when you're taking the actuator out. And then there's going to be two screws, two bolts, one here and one at the bottom down here. They're 8mm. So let's get to that. Here's the actuator. It is out now. These are the screws that hold it on. You can see it's called a park high, neutral, low gear actuator. These bolts here, I found just a ratcheting in wrench was the best way to get them off. Once you break them loose, you can pretty much do it by your fingers. But this bottom one is a pain in the butt. So let's turn this thing over. And you see the gears that are on there. That looks a lot like the gear that's on your tool that's in your glove box. So next thing we'll do is we'll go to the transmission with this little tool here and see if we can't put it in neutral. Before I put this tool in the transmission, I don't know if you can see that, but it tells you right there, the first step you do is you're going to turn this thing clockwise until it stops. I think that's probably going to be just about a quarter turn or so. And then after you turn it clockwise till it stops, then you're going to turn it counterclockwise approximately 7 1/4 turns. So let me see if I can get this thing stuck into the transmission. Okay, I was able to verify that I got the tool and the hole correctly. Off camera, I did move the tool a little bit. We are going to do the turn. If you're facing the rear of the car, we're going to go clockwise. I did notice it's kind of spring loaded, and then we're going to turn it counterclockwise about 7 1/4 turns, see if we can't get this to neutral. Apologize if not getting this part on camera. It's kind of hard to hold the camera and turn that at the same time. So far I've done 3 turns counterclockwise, 4, 5, 6, 7 1/4, it says. Is this thing in neutral yet? We are in neutral. Okay, so it works. Car's in neutral. Now I'm going to button it back up and we'll finish the video. Just before I buttoned it up, I did turn it back in the 7 1/4 turns. And I just want to show you that it is back in park. So let's get this actuator put back in. Okay, the actuator's back in. I think it was probably easier to put it in than it was to take it out, just because that bottom screw is so hard, the bottom mounting screw. So let's see if it goes back into place like it should by turning the car on and see if it shifts like it should here. Bump it, foot on the brake, says park, neutral, go back to park, let's start it. Okay, everything works. Okay, so there's your 3 neutrals that the car has: regular neutral, permanent neutral, mechanical neutral. The first 2, relatively easy. Once you figure out the second one, the permanent neutral, how that works, it's pretty self-explanatory after that. The mechanical neutral, I hope you never have to do that. It is no fun getting in there. I cut away quite a few times. If I would have videoed this whole thing, you'd be way bored by now. So hope this helps you guys. For the ones that have your Maverick Rs and may to do that in the future, or the people that are curious about the Maverick Rs and how that all works. Thanks again for watching. Please subscribe, please like, please share when you can. We'd like to get as many subscribers as we can. We're a new channel. Been around for a long time, but new channel as far as content goes. So if you guys are out in Glamis for New Year's, we'll be out there the day after Christmas. This thing's going to MTS for Shock Tune a couple days after Christmas, and we'll get some video of that and we'll share along. So till then, Merry Christmas.